Hello and welcome to Fit2B. You're joining me for 5 minutes of calf work. We're gonna start with our feet shoulder width apart, roughly right underneath your frontal hip bones, lining up the center of your toes there, nice steady stance, and coming up onto our toes and then back down onto our heels. Doesn't feel like a lot, but hey, do a minute of these and see how they feel. Make sure that you're not leaning forward too much. Keep your shoulders open. Keep your ears right over your shoulders. Believe it or not, sometimes they end up way out in front. And always breathe. Do an exhale with the exertion as you lift. And as you exhale, lift your navel up toward your ribs. Shh. Shh. Focus on making a nice strong ball of muscle on the back of each calf as you rise to the top. Keep the rising and lowering graceful and elegant. Think about that book on your head. And in just a few seconds, we're gonna trade off about a minute for each of these exercises. Toe heel walk or strut open your legs, turning your toes out and drop down into a wide squat. If you wanna go deeper, then make your legs a little bit wider. Your knees should not come past your toes, and your toes and knees should go the same way. And here's where we're gonna bring the calves in. You're gonna come down, lift one heel, then the other one, and then come back up again. Breathe out, lift and engage, and then stand back up. Just for kicks, every few repetitions, switch which foot leads, just to keep your brain on alert. So if you're leading with that left calf, do a few leading with your right calf. Watch out for a lot of pelvic tilting and listing while you do this. Keep your frontal hip bones lined up over your pubic bone. Let's do one more repetition and then switch exercises. Now that we're done with that one, stand up, toe heel walk your feet back together, nice and close. This time, turning your toes out in that first position from ballet. That might feel familiar. Hands on your hips, lifting up onto your toes and coming back down. This is not a position we want to live in, but it's a very effective position for strengthening different little parts of your calves and legs. You may also feel the flex traveling up the backside of your thighs. Try to keep your glutes fairly relaxed here, okay? They'll switch on when they're needed, but try not to clench them too much. Keep the stability work in your feet and let that transfer up into your core. Always breathing, just like I said before, every lift gets a gentle coordinating lift in your core. So everything comes down, everything comes up. Again, feeling for that ball of muscle on the back of your thighs and the back of your calves. I'm feeling it in both. How about you? Next, just 2 more things. You're going to come down into a squat. So turn your toes forward and your knees forward and drop into a squat. And just like we did with that wider squat, you're going to hover for a brief moment and lift one calf, then the other. Then stand back up. Little bit of arm work here. Feel free to grab a set of dumbbells and carry them with you. You could also hold something out in front of you. Breathe out, lift, lift, and then come back up. Remember, you want to switch the lead foot every so often. Make it random, surprise your body a little bit. You can also put your hands on your hips. Watch out for excessive rib thrusting here. Do your best to keep the distance that is between your ribs and hips here at the top the same when you're down at the base of the squat. Let's do one more repetition just like this, and then do one final move. Stand back up. And this last one looks kind of weird, but wow, I always feel it. You're gonna turn your toes inward, okay? Turn your toes inward, rotating your inner thighs inward. Pull your kneecaps up toward your hips, hands on your hips, and come up onto your toes that way. Feel how that flex shifts things differently through your legs and your feet. Our ankles and feet need strengthened in all directions, not just one, because we don't just move in one direction, right? Keep it graceful, keep your breathing going, lifting everything up and in, relaxing everything down. Always go your pace with workouts. Don't feel like you have to keep up with any instructor. March to the beat of your own drum. That's totally fine. One more, and then stand and shake it out. Thanks for joining me. Be sure you check out the rest of the 5 Minutes with Fit2B series. Too many layers over that little antenna bit?
I don't know. Take 2, 2, 3, 2.
Well, as soon as it starts doing it, let me know.
Oh, I will. 5-minute calves, take 2, audio track 2, 3, 2, and stop.